What's going on, everyone? My name is Dudo, and I'm the Goalie Gear Snob, and for those of you that may or may not know, I'm the Dallas Stars Emergency Backup Goaltender, and I was proud to serve throughout the entire 2025-2026 season. I did just want to give you guys a quick note that through the entire summer, I'm going to be posting a lot more gear content and gear reviews. As I have teased throughout a lot of my videos throughout this season, breaking down the NHL warm-ups, I have a lot more gear that I'm going to be talking about. Some cool stuff hidden here, there's some stuff popped up there, but I'm going to be focusing a lot more on gear reviews and a little bit less on the NHL content. Last week I posted my favorite top 10 setups throughout the entire season, but now I'm going to show you my not so favorite setups from the entire season. So now I'm going to break down the not top 10 sets from the 2025-2026 season ranked by me. So at number 10, we're going to be looking at Colton Ellis. I was able to film him with the Blues and the Sabres, but he pretty much got that same graphic throughout the entire season. And I'm going to be honest, I just don't know what the graphic is. There's a lot of sweeping lines, a lot of some, kind of weird shapes to it. And I just don't know what this graphic looks like. I don't know if it was like an older Supreme graphic, an older Vapor graphic that maybe didn't pass or something like that. I don't know if it was something that came out of his brain. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't really have like a cool shape to it. I really just don't know what it is. It's kind of like tribally. I just don't know what it is. So I'm ranking this as the 10 worst setup I saw for the season. So comment down below and let me know what you think. In at number 9, we have Matt Murray. Wild that I got to film him this year. Pretty cool I got to see him, but I'm just not a fan of that L95 graphic. I don't really like the color layout of it. I don't like how each piece has a different kind of flow and feel to it. I just don't overly love it. I think the Seattle uniform is really cool, but how this L95 set is laid out, I just think it doesn't really do it justice here. I'm really not a big fan of it. But Matt Murray was pretty cool to film. I'm glad I got to see him. He didn't really have a lot of action after this. It seemed like this was kind of like a big stint that he had and then wasn't ever used again. But pretty cool I got to see him in action and film him. I thought he actually had a pretty decent game for that game that he was in, but I just hated watching the gear. So comment down below and let me know what you think. Oh, also, I just want to give a little bit of a hint. There's going to be a lot of L95 on this. Coming in at number 8, we have Levi MERILAINEN from the Ottawa Senators. I like that this set is DigiPrint here. I think there's a lot of cool elements from the Senators helmet that's actually represented here inside of this graphic. But I think with the circular element of the Senators logo, doing straight lines and these kind of jagged, kind of like hard angled circuit board kind of lines, I just don't think it really did justice to the actual logo itself for matching. So you get some points for trying to keep the color, style, things like that, but I just think it didn't really match that well with the entire logo and uniform. And I think there's a lot of cool detail in it, but from 1,000 feet away, you really can't tell what it is, so there's a little bit of love lost there. It's not the best, not the worst setup I've seen. I think it's just alright, but I had to rank it as the 8th worst set I saw for the season. Number 7 here goes to Joel Hofer from the St. Louis Blues. So this setup here, I like the color elements. I like using the aviator blue and the sport gold. I think it ties into the uniform well. I don't overly love the Blues' new uniforms, but I get what they're going for here, and I think the color usage matches well. I just don't like the layout of the graphic. I don't think it matches the logo. I don't think it really matches any of the striping either, so just not a giant fan of it. Also, whenever you do the bottom toe binding in the pads, I feel like you really have to match the binding on the glove and blocker. And he did not do that here, so there's a little bit of a weird kind of border across his toes and not on the glove and blocker binding. Also, he does have a sport gold logo on the glove and then blue on the blocker and the pads, so just doesn't totally match there, so loses a few points. I thought that the overall color setup with a lot of heavy color in the nylon was really cool. I don't think it was one of the better ones that he has had. So that's Joel Hofer of the St. Louis Blues. Number 6 goes to the away setup for Logan Thompson of the Washington Capitals. So he is using a DigiPrint graphic of the SV Pro. The SV Pro is the senior level price point offered by Bauer. You can get it stock, you can get it custom and senior, intermediate, junior, which is pretty unique that they offer that. But my biggest complaint is actually the graphic itself, not necessarily his layout, but just kind of how he chose it. I hate that middle spike across the pad and then how it ties into the sidewall of the blocker and on the backhand of the glove. I'm a firm believer that the face of the pad should be represented on the face of the glove and the face of the blocker. So I just hate that he chose that zone here. I think if you eliminated it, it would have been really super simple, super clean, just with that navy spike and red logo. Thought it would have looked really cool. Could have even done something cool with a matching stick with having like a navy paddle on the red logo. I think that would have brought the whole thing home. But overall, I just didn't really love that entire look of it, and the SV Pro graphic just loses a little bit in my opinion. So that's what we're seeing here. We're going to be looking at Logan Thompson from the Washington Capitals at the number 6 spot. Halfway through the countdown here, we're going to be looking at Jacob Markstrom from the New Jersey Devils. Another L95 graphic. I'm really sorry about that. I just don't like how a lot of people are using it here. He has the 2 spikes, the one across the thigh and the one across the upper shin, and then just a single stripe across the glove and blocker. Glove and blocker are okay, but just that stripe on the pads I don't overall love. I see if he matched the middle knee roll to like the inside sidewall of the blocker and on the backhand of the glove, and I get why he did that, but I just don't like the overall flow of it here. I really wish he just used that single stripe across the shin. I think that would have tied the glove and blocker better together. The final thing is that he has a white logo over red on the glove, a white logo over black on the pads, and then a black logo over white on the glove and blocker, and a red logo on the stick. Just looks all over the place. I don't think there's a lot of cohesion together in it. The helmet is a saving grace, but I just don't think it's one of the better setups that he's ever had. So that's why Jacob Markstrom resides in the number 5 spot. Justus Annunen is in the number 4 spot of the not top 10 countdown. So his graphic is a DigiPrint version of what I guess kind of looks like a V2 swirl, where it has like a spike coming across the shin up towards the outer roll and one coming down across the thigh. I don't know if it's supposed to tie in the tooth from the Predators logo, some sort of hidden part of the logo, I'm not entirely sure, but I really just don't like that it's filled in, that there's 2 outlines. I think with the away uniform, it would have looked a lot better if you did like a white pad, a sport gold fill with a navy outline. I think that would have better matched the shoulders across the jersey. I think that would have been a little bit of a cooler look. Final thing about the setup that I don't really love is just the helmet. I'm generally not a huge fan of like the animal kind of style looking helmets. I think, you know, when they're sparingly used, it's okay, but when you look around the league, there's a lot of guys that had that style this year from Dave Art, so maybe it was just something that Dave Art was really pushing. But I get why it matches the Predators uniform here, but I just don't like the actual application of the design on the helmet. So overall, looking at everything together, I just don't love it. It's a little bit of a tougher one to look at for me personally, so that's why Annunen is in that number 4 spot. We're in the home stretch here in the number 3 spot, looking at Yaroslav Askarov from the San Jose Sharks. I'm going to be honest, I don't love the usage of this flylight graphic here. I think there's just so much teal in the middle. There's not a lot of kind of flow to it that would either match even like the Sharks striping on the uniform or their socks. I get that they use a lot of teal in the uniform. I just don't love the application of it here. The black cowling, I understand why he has it. I think just looking at it, the overall just kind of like stark contrast against the white with the minimal black in the uniform just doesn't overall jive with me. Also, having the stick with like the teal background with the white logo kind of being the opposite of the glove and blocker and the pads, it's just a little bit of a weirder one to kind of look at for me. This one, yeah, I just think there's so many more applications of the fly-like graphic that you could do to better match the Sharks uniform, their style, whatever. I just really did not like this one here. Saw a few memes in the middle of the year that people said it looked like anime girl legs, so take that as what you will. But I definitely think that Askarov should be in the 3rd spot of the worst setups throughout the entire season. The set I chose in the number 2 spot is absolutely going to piss off a whole bunch of people, and honestly, it's all right. I don't like it. I know a lot of other people love it. Being back at Goalie Monkey, I handle a lot of custom orders, and I've done this setup so many times in so many different color variations, and I still just don't like it. The L97 set, I think by having the sport gold knee roll, the black, the sport gold, then not having the complete match on the gloves is just a little odd. I understand that those 2 knee roll zones are not used on the glove and blocker, but for me, I would just entirely omit it. I think there's just too much sport gold on the pads and not enough on the glove and blocker. Oddly enough, there's too much black on the back of the leg pads and not enough on the glove and blocker. I think the helmet could have played off of a vintage look a little bit more to tie into the vintage set. So for me, it kind of looks like a different goalie from the top down. The final part is he had a black stick with a white logo for so long. This would have been the prime opportunity to kind of keep that same look and feel with having the black bar, white logo on the glove blocker and pads. Could have tied it together with the stick, but I just didn't really like it. The more I look at it, the more I hate it. I'm sorry, goalies. I'm just not a huge fan of it. So that's why I put Swayman in the number 2 spot. Here in the number 1 spot of the worst setup for the 2025-2026 season is Sergei Bobrovsky. I know this is going to bother even more people than the last number 2 spot. I've seen a lot of custom orders come through for this setup, a lot come through for this look. I just, honestly, I can't stand it. Nothing matches. The Florida Panthers use white and navy helmets. He chose a red-based helmet. It doesn't match either of what they do. When you look at the player gloves, they have navy with white. He chose to have red accents on the gloves, and then on the pads, he did a navy inside edge and a giant streak of navy kind of coming across the middle of the knee rolls. And I think the Panthers actually use a white and red sock with a metallic gold outline, or a red sock with white. So it's just crazy to me that like he did the opposite of every single one of those. If you haven't noticed it yet, I just can't stand the L95 graphic and usage. I understand it's the 1995 replica of that original Lefebvre pad. I think there's so many more ways you could piece it together to make it look a little bit better. I think that Bobrovsky's use here was just kind of clicking some random zones and not really thinking much about how it's going to look. He's clearly a function over form kind of goalie. But I just think that this is a really tough one to look at. It's a great goalie. He's a lot of fun to watch. I just wish the gear looked a lot cooler. By the way, I just want to mention that his red set I thought looked even worse than the white one. Sorry, guys.
Perfect.
Now that you guys have seen the worst ranked sets for me in the not top 10 sets from the 2025-2026 season, I'd like for you to comment down below and let me know what you think. Was I right in some of this? Was I wrong in some of this? Just comment down below and let me know what you think. If If you think I should do some other videos where I kind of share my thoughts on what I think the goalie should wear, kind of propose some setups, let me know if you think that's a cool idea and something I could definitely do towards the end of the summer. I did just want to say thank you for watching and listening to me complain about 10 goalie sets this entire season. I really appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate it even more if you could send this video out to a friend. My name is Chris Dudo, and I'm the Goalie Gear Snob. Thanks for watching. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel as I upload new videos every Wednesday. And if you want to watch more NHL warm-ups, click that playlist right there.